Hello, fellow Fumblers. Today I want to talk to you about player marking in the client. Very helpful tool that gives you the option to keep the overview over everything that is going on in the pitch and not to miss some important skills, like, for example, if the guy you want to dodge away has tackle or even diving tackle. So, how can we do this, or what is this marking? Here on the right, we have a client open. We see on one side we have a rookie Black Oak team, nothing special here. And on the other side, we do have a human team. But when we hover over the players, we see, there's some really advanced players. Someone that has an agility increase, mighty blow and tackle, so a very dangerous player, especially for our little goblins. We have a guard one. We have here a blitzer that has even an injury. Might be interesting to see if that one is a passing threat in like a Hail Mary play, or here a jump up catcher. So now it's very hard to keep all of this in mind. So a feature that has basically always been in the client is an option to manually mark your players. Like for example, you have a shift click and you get here option to mark something. And you can say this is an ogre. Well, it's obvious, but some other thing you can do, like you can say like, this maybe has agility 2, it has mighty blow and tackle. You can mark your guard over here. So this is very helpful, isn't it? But it requires you to do all this manually for each game of your for the opponent players. For your own players, these markings are stored and reapplied every time. But then when one of your players levels up, gets a new skill, you have to think about it and add it to your markings. And also with the opponents, you have to go to everybody, and yeah, it's easy to miss something, and then maybe just during the game, you realize there's something that you did not mark. And even if you catch everything, it takes a while, and it's very annoying. So, to mitigate this, we have a feature in the client that is called auto marking. You can activate this by going to user settings, the client settings, and player marking. Now, here on automatic marking, you see now, something changed. And here, there's tackle and mighty blow marked here with an M and a T and a G. That's nice, but for some reason, the agility increase is not here, the jump up is not here. The reason for this is when you just activate auto marking, you only get a set of a few skills that are automatically marked for you, and this is just meant to cover the most basic cases. We have stuff like block, tackle, mighty blow, wrestle, but yeah, that's most of the time you want more than that. And when you look at the opponent coach, we see here, here's a lot of nice things, like plus agility here, here's the passing decrease here, everything is marked. So how can we get this for ourselves? The good thing is, on the Fumbbl website, you are able to define your own markings. For this, you go to your home screen, and in the home menu, there's the client options entry. And here we have the auto marking sequence. So now you could say something, add a marking. And here in the marking part, you can add the text you want to have displayed. So like if you're fancy, you could say, I want to have this for every player that has the tackle skill. We're now looking for tackle. And there it is. So let's just see what happens now. I'll click save here. So now nothing changed in the client so far, but when I toggle this, we'll come back to manual and then activate auto marking again. Then we now see, the marking we applied is now here. So this is pretty cool because we now can do a lot of nice things. For example, when you see here in the marking, you can define if this is like something like you want basically everybody with a certain skill to be marked. For example, if we do something like this, we have here block as a B, and we say for all, not just gain skills, but also for all. So every player that also starts with a skill, and for both teams, we click save here. 1 second. Go back to the client. Toggle it again. This is a bit annoying, I admit, but it gives you the option to play around with all of this. Then we now would see everybody that has tech has block, even if it's just like the basic position skill, is marked now. Well, if you're an experienced coach, you probably know what position starts with what skill, so you could just say gain. So then would only display the marking for a player that has gained the skill through a level up. And you can also decide like, I wanted to show markings for both teams, or just for my own team, or for just for the opponent team. So you can have a very fine-grained set of skill markings that you want to have displayed. Even, it was even better, you are not limited to one skill. You could also say, let's say I want to remove this one. Now let's say I want to have one marking that is for, as you have seen, for tackle, and where it is for mighty blow. We know we have this player, so we just mark it now with an X. Save. We delete the old one with the tackle X. That was just for testing purpose, anyways. And now we go here. Another toggle. So now we have this with an X here. So only if the player has tackle and mighty blow, we see this one. So this is also a good option to mark skill stacks. For example, dodgy player, sneaky kid, block dodge, maybe block dodge sidestep or something. The thing is, all the skills you define here are only applied if it's gained, if you choose this one. If you want, like for example, an Amazon blitzer that has all starts with dodge, and you want it to be marked with something special when it can block and sidestep, then and you want you put something here like block dodge sidestep as skill set, then you would need to define type as all, because it would not apply the marking in this case, because dodge is a starting skill. This is something to keep in mind, but still we are able to do basically anything we want. We can also mark injuries here and even also stat increases. This little box apply repeatedly. It seems a bit weird, but it makes sense for skill increases, stat increases, or injuries. So like if somebody has 2 movement injuries and you apply this, then you would have the marking for this injury applied twice. So you would see this immediately if this player is just a bit slow or really slow. All in all, I think this is a very handy addition and it helps a lot. One thing that is new with the next release is, as you have seen, we have alphabetical order or site order. So previously, all the markings have been sorted alphabetically. So just starting with B, M, T. First, this seemed a reasonable choice, but some people said they prefer if the marking would be in the way they define it here in the interface. So this is now also an option. So basically, you can choose in what order they should be displayed. Now, as you see, this is a lot of options, a lot of skills to add. Sometimes you think like, oh, there's a lot to do, and I don't know where to start. Krista added this neat little import button. So now if we know of a coach that might have a lot of markings, you just I want to import these settings, and voila, you have all of these there, and you can start from there. All this should give you an option to get up and running with markings very easily, very quickly, and you can fine tune it to your liking afterwards. So I also want one more thing that is also new now. Now, when you see you have basically the auto marking available for in this client already, we also had complaints that people say, I still want to do some manual marking, and so far this was not possible. But now you have the option to actually combine auto marking and manual marking for the game. So, for example, if I click here, then you see before we only had this headline and the text field in the client with the manual marking, but now with auto marking, you can also now decide, we're just adding something weird here, if you want this manual marking to be appended to your marking, or you can say, I want it to prepend, or even maybe replace it, or the last option is as an additional one, and see that now it's added to the top. This also gives the option to add more markings in total, because the space here is a bit limited simply by the fact that it has to fit basically in a square to avoid overlaps. These additional manual marks are not persistent anywhere, but they give you the option to enhance or augment your markings for a game, and we hope that this solves a lot of the issues people are having. I hope you enjoyed this, in my opinion, very cool feature, and if you have any feedback, let us know, and we will try to improve. Thanks a lot.